Hi, this is Ben Baxter with Accent Software. Wanted to bring you a quick tip on Dynamics 365 Business Central. This one's going to be for everybody. It relates to permissions and how we control what access people have to the system. So the way we're going to cover this is I'm going to go to something called permission sets. Within the system, Microsoft provides all of these amazing permission sets that give access throughout the system. So they allow you to view, they allow you to edit, they allow you to post, different capabilities throughout Business Central. The only problem with this is I don't have control over these. These are all system generated and Microsoft publishes them and you cannot edit them. So what I do is I create my own permission set and I use these permission sets within it, and then I add my control on top of it. So we're going to set up a quick example, and this will be for someone who does sales entry. So we'll call it ASI for Accent Software Sales, and we'll call it sales entry. And so with that, I've created the container, and so now we're going to go in and we're going to assign what permissions are within that group set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down and I'm going to grab some of our sales permissions. So we'll do the document edit so they can enter sales orders. We want them to be able to enter items, so we'll go ahead and add the item edit. Then we'll come down and we'll add resources as well. So we'll come in and type in resource and we'll give them resource read permission. Now the dangerous one. So I'm going to come in and do general ledger, right? And so I'm going to come in and say general ledger accounts view. Well, typically when you add something like GL accounts, it also includes the entries, and we don't necessarily want our general users to be able to go and see the specific entries inside of the GL. I want them to be able to select my freight account, for example, but I don't necessarily want those same users to go into those general ledger accounts and look through all of my entries, especially maybe payroll entries and things like that. So now that I have the blanket coverage, I need to add some fine-tuned controls to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to the top section and I'm going to set something called an exclude. And I want to prevent people from getting into the entries component of the GL. So I'm going to type in entry, and the first one that pops up is GL entry. And so by setting an exclude on it, you'll see in this lower window what the result is. And so because I've added an exclude, my general ledger accounts view now has a partial status to it, which means it's included most of what's available, but it has removed the GL entries view, or the ability to access the transactions within the GL account. So yes, they can see my chart of accounts, but they can't go to any of the ledger entries within it. And that's really what we want to protect. With that, I've created a quick sales entry permission set, and I can start applying that permission set to my users and feel confident that they don't have too much access. Now there's a lot more to security than what I can cover in a quick video here, but I wanted to at least show you a nice feature to exclude components that you don't want. So you can build out really robust permission structures and then go back and set some exclusions of things you don't want them to see, and all of a sudden that permission set becomes very fine-toothed when you didn't necessarily set it up that way to begin with. I hope you found this helpful. I hope this is a great starting point for getting into your security setup. If you have questions, by all means reach out to us here at Accent Software. We do specialize in the manufacturing industry, so if that's an industry that you work in, we would love to talk to you. We'd be a great resource for you and help you best utilize your system.